Morning students, today we are going to start with a new lesson, that is footprints without feet. So speciality is there, the textbook's name itself is Footprints Without Feet. Actually it is written by H.G. Wells. H.G. Wells, what's the full form of H.G. Wells? Herbert George Wells. He was an English writer. He was born in 1866 London and he died in 1946. The present lesson is the part of a novel called Invisible Man, and the story is about a scientist named Griffin. So it's a portion taken from that novel, Invisible Man. Let us begin. The two boys started in surprise at the fresh muddy imprints of a pair of bare feet. What was a barefooted man doing on the steps of a house in the middle of London, and where was the man? The two boys started in surprise at the fresh muddy imprints. What is imprints means? Impression of a pair of bare feet. The two boys, they were observing what the footmark, where? On the muddy path. So there was no person is there, but only the footprints are there. What was a barefooted man doing on the steps of a house and in the middle of London? And where was the man? The children were surprised to observe there was no man present there. Only what was there? Only the footprints were there. So where was he? The children started searching the man. As they gazed, a remarkable sight met their eyes. A fresh footmark appeared from nowhere. Then again they searched. A remarkable means worthy of attention. Sight they had seen using their eyes. Fresh footmark appeared from nowhere. Again they had seen a footmark. Further footprints followed. Again and again they just started following the footmark or an outline of the feet. So what did they see? One after another, descending the steps and progressing down the street. What did they observe? The person who was walking, they cannot see the person, only the footprints were there. Where was he going? He was going towards the street. The progressing down the street. Progressing means move forward or onward towards the street. The boys followed, fascinated. They were attracted by these footmarks, isn't it? They didn't see the person. And until the muddy impressions became fainter and fainter and at last disappeared altogether. So you all know that if you are stepping on a mud, what will happen? The footmark will be coming, isn't it? After a few distance you walk, what will happen? That mud stain will be lessened. Same thing happened. So they could not follow him. Footprints were disappeared. The explanation of the mystery was really simple enough. The bewildered boys had been following a scientist who had just discovered how to make the human body transparent. ഇവിടെ എന്താണ് explanation പറയുന്നത്? Mystery was really simple. It was very easy for you to understand. The bewildered boys, bewildered means confused boys, had been following whom? A scientist who had recently discovered a medicine to become disappear. Understood? So they were following the person who was a scientist, Griffin. What was the name of the scientist? Griffin. The scientist had carried out experiment after experiment to prove that the human body could become invisible. The person who had undergone for the experiment, who was that person? Griffin had carried out a lot of experiments, continued with lot of experiments. For what purpose? To prove human body could become invisible. Finally, he swallowed certain rare drugs and his body became as transparent as a sheet of glass, though it also remained as solid as glass. What did he do? He, after discovering the medicine for disappearing, he himself swallowed it and he became what? Like a transparent as a glass. And even though it was also remained as solid also, it is strong also. Brilliant scientist though he was, Griffin was rather a lawless person. Lawless person means the person who doesn't follow the rules and regulations of the country. Even though he was a very intelligent person, but he was a lawless person. His landlord disliked him and tried to eject him. So his landlord, the person whose house he was staying, who he did not like him. Why? And tried to eject him. Eject means compelled to leave a place. He wanted this man to move from his house. In revenge, Griffin set fire to the house. ഒരു ദിവസം എന്ത് പറഞ്ഞു? ഹൗസ് ഓണർ പറഞ്ഞു നിങ്ങൾ വീട് എന്ത് ചെയ്യാൻ വെക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറഞ്ഞു. What did he do? He just തീയിട്ടു. ആ മുറിക്കകത്ത് തന്നെ set fire. So, to get away without being seen, he had to remove his clothes. And there is a condition invisible. Remove the clothes. Thus, it was that he became a homeless wanderer. That because of that, he became what? A wanderer. He didn't get another house to stay. Without clothes. That's also he was not wearing any clothes, without money, and quite invisible until he happened to step in some mud and left footmarks as he walked. So, how did the children find the footprints? Adinte answer aanu ivide koduttirikkunnu, because he was staying in a rented house and the person, that is the landlord, he did not like this man, this Griffin. So he asked him to empty the house, or he wanted to he was compelling him to leave the house. What did Griffin do? Griffin set fire in his room. Did you understand? And he himself became disappear. If he had to become invisible, what he has to do? He has to remove the clothes. Then he has to swallow the medicine. So now he is becoming a wanderer. That means without a home. So he was wandering here and there. Not only he became a wanderer, he doesn't have money. He doesn't have money and no home to stay. He escaped as easily enough from the boys who followed his footprints in London. He also observed that the few children were following him, that he escaped from there. But his adventures were by no means over. It was really an adventurous task. He had chosen a bad time of the year to wander about London without clothes. It was midwinter. Why did the author write that he had taken a very wrong time? Because it is a winter time without clothes. You can imagine it will be very cold. The air was bitterly means in an angry way, bitterly cold. Here air was bitterly cold means it was very cold, and he could not do without clothes. It was very difficult for him to do anything without clothes. Instead of walking about the streets, he decided to slip into a big London store for warmth. What did he do? He stopped wandering here and there in the streets. Then at last he found a shop and he entered the shop in order to collect some clothes. Closing time arrived, and as soon as the doors were shut, Griffin was able to give himself the pleasure of clothing and feeding himself without regard to expense. Now, I told you in the beginning itself, he doesn't have any money also, no clothes, it was very cold, so without money it is very difficult for him to eat, isn't it? He can't purchase any food also. Now what happened? Closing time. The store he entered, they're closing the shop. So it was easy for him to get something. What did he do? He broke open boxes and wrappers and fitted himself out with warm clothes. First time he just opened broken the boxes and covered packets he opened, and he found some clothes to wear. Soon with shoes, an overcoat and a wide brimmed hat, he became fully dressed and visible person. So if he wears clothes, what will happen? He will be visible. He had taken, what are the things he had taken? Shoes, overcoat, wide brimmed hat, everything, and he became a very decently visible person. In the kitchen of the restaurant, he found cold meat and a coffee, and he followed up the meal with sweets and wine taken from the grocery store, isn't it? So he had entered in a shop where what you know it. It is like a mall type, isn't it? All the things were available. Restaurant was there. From there he got what meat he got, cold meat he got, coffee he got, and then sweets he had taken from the grocery store. He had taken wine also. Finally, he settled down to sleep on a pile of quilts. The quilts were there. So on the top of it, he was very comfortably, he started to sleep. If only Griffin had managed to wake up in good time, all might have been well. As it was, he did not wake up until the assistants were already arriving next morning. Early morning, he should have woke up. Then what happened? People will not come to know that somebody is there inside the store, was there inside the store. But he actually got up very late. And who started coming? The assistants of the shop started coming. When he saw a couple of them approaching, he panicked and began to run. He became very nervous and he started running. They naturally gave chase. They also started going behind him. Do you know that? No, he is in clothes. He is fully dressed. Now people can locate him. That's why. In the end, he was able to escape only by quickly taking off his newly found clothes. So if he wanted to disappear, what he has to do? He has to remove the clothes. So he was very sure that the shopkeepers are about to catch him. That time what did he do? He just removed his clothes. So once more he found himself invisible but naked in the chill January air. In December, January it used to be very cold, isn't it? So once again he became what? Clothless. He doesn't have any cloth and that was also a very cold climate. This time he decided to try the stock of a theoretical company in the hope of finding not only clothes but also something that would hide the empty space above his shoulders. Shivering with cold, he hurried to Drury Lane, the center of the theatre world. Theatre world, you know, the drama and all. The costumes, they used to rent it out. So that place he went. He wanted to, not only he wanted the clothes, even he wanted to take something to cover above his shoulders. That means head. No head was there. So he needs what? Some artificial thing. He soon found a suitable shop. He made his way invisible. Upstairs, he went inside. Nobody could make out. Upstairs he went, came out a little later wearing bandages round his forehead. So what did he do? He just covered his forehead with bandages, dark glasses and a false nose, big bushy side whiskers and a large hat. All things he collected from the shop. To escape without being seen, he callously attacked the shopkeeper from behind, and callously means cruelly, and in a disregard for others, cruel and disregard for others. That is called callously. Attacked the shopkeeper from behind, and after which he robbed him of all the money he could find. He's very smart person. What did he do? Very cunning person, isn't it? This is not smartness. He went inside the shop. He just started collecting. What are the things he started collecting? Bandages he uses around his forehead. Then he started using dark glasses, false nose, big bushy side whiskers and a large hat he collected. And to escape without being seen, what did he do? He attacked the shopkeeper from behind. He never expected, the shopkeeper never expected that somebody is going to attack him. That's why he attacked from where? From the back side. And not only the clothes he had taken, he robbed him of the money he could find. Whatever money was left in this shop, he had taken. Eager to get away from crowded London, he took a train to the village of Epping, and where he booked 2 rooms at the local inn. So then he wanted to escape from where? From the crowded place, city called London. So where did he do? He went to a village of Epping. So, and where he booked 2 rooms at the local inn. So local hotel, he had taken what? 2 rooms. The arrival of a stranger at an inn in winter was in any case an unusual event. So in the lodges and all, people were not expecting a guest during winter season. And this is also located in a village. So village people, you know, their nature is somebody, some stranger came to the particular place, people are very curious to know about him. Same thing happened here also. Let us see. A stranger of such uncommon appearance set all tongues wagging. So people all started talking about him. Mrs. Hall, the landlord's wife, made every effort to be friendly. So Mrs. Hall is the owner of the the lodge. She is actually very happy to find a guest during the winter season. So she provided all the comforts to the guest, and she was very friendly towards Griffin. But Griffin had no desire to talk, and Griffin was very smart. He was not ready to talk to her at all. My reason for coming typing is a desire for solitude. What did he say that? I selected this place because I wanted to remain alone, lonely. I do not wish to be disturbed in my work. I don't want anybody to interfere in my work. Besides, an accident has affected my face. Now he can't tell them that he had discovered what medicine for disappearance. So they started, they will ask, no, full of bandages were on his face. So he said that I met with an accident and I wanted to spend my time alone. That's why he selected this particular village inn. Satisfied that her guest was an eccentric scientist. Eccentric means slightly strange. And in view of the fact that he had paid her in advance, Mrs. Hall was prepared to excuse his strange habits and irritable temper. Mrs. Hall is a little greedy because she wanted money, isn't it? So she was ready to accept this stranger even though he is slightly strange. And not only that, he paid her in advance. Mrs. Hall was prepared to excuse his strange habits and irritable temper. She was ready to accept everything. But the stolen money did not last long, and presently Griffin had to admit that he had no more ready cash. He pretended, however, that he was expecting a check to arrive at any moment. So do you remember that the shop he entered? That's also theoretical world. Do you remember? The center of the theoretical world he entered. He stolen the money also, isn't it? That money lasted for few weeks only. Now he has to pay to Mrs. Hall. So he told Mrs. Hall that a check will be coming and then he will pay her. Shortly afterwards, a curious episode occurred. Another incident happened. What was that? Very early in the morning, a clergyman and his wife were awakened by noises in the study. Creeping downstairs, they heard the chink of money being taken from the clergyman's desk. Now there is another story they are saying. In the village, there was a clergyman staying. What happened? He was staying along with his wife. In the early morning, they heard the sound of money. Somebody is taking the money. The sound, the coins, it makes noise, isn't it? They heard. And from where? From the clergyman's desk, the room where he kept the table and everything. From the desk, somebody is taking. That sound they heard. Without making any noise and with a poker grasped firmly in his hand, the clergyman flung open the door. Poker is a metal rod generally used for clearing the fire. Fireplace is to be there. In the foreign countries and all, during the winter season, they keep fire inside the rooms. So in order to move that fire, so they use what? This metal rod. That is the poker. What did the clergyman do? Clergyman just taken the poker and the clergyman flung open the door of the room where he kept the money. Surrender. Then to his amazement, he realized that the room appeared to be empty, but there was nobody in that room. He and his wife looked under the desk, behind the curtains, and even up the chimney. Even they checked the chimney also. Behind the curtains, they checked everywhere. They checked if somebody is hiding. But there was not a sign of anybody. Yet the desk had been opened and the housekeeping money was missing. They found that the money they kept inside the drawer was missing and the drawer was also open. Extraordinary affair. The clergyman kept saying for the rest of the day, this is something, excuse me, this is something surprising, isn't it? Nobody is there. It was not an extraordinary as the behavior of Mrs. Hall's furniture a little later that morning. It was not as extraordinary as. So it is not something unusual thing happened in the clergyman house. Same something else also happened at whose room also? At the Mrs. Hall's room. What happened? Furniture a little later that morning. Behavior of Mrs. Hall's furniture. So something happened to the furniture kept at whose room? Mrs. Hall's. The landlord and his wife were up very early and were surprised to see the scientist's door wide open. So the landlord and his wife. Landlord is Mr. Hall and Mrs. Hall. Early morning they got up. They had seen the scientist's door was open. Usually it was shut and locked. Usually the scientist used to sit inside the room and lock the room. And he was furious if anyone entered his room. He doesn't want anybody entering his room also. The opportunity seemed too good to be missed. They peeped round the door. They just looked through the door, saw nobody, decided to investigate. They thought that this man is very strange. It is better to examine the room. The bedclothes were cold, showing that the scientist must have been up for some time. So if somebody is sleeping in the bed, what will happen? The bed sheet and bedspread, everything is to be warm, isn't it? When they checked that bedclothes were very cold, and from that they understood that the stranger was not in the room for a long time. The stranger still, the clothes and the bandages that he always wore were lying about the room. They found that what else was also there? Who was not there? Stranger was not there. Even the clothes and the bandages he was using were all scattered there. All of a sudden, Mrs. Hall heard a sniff close to her ear. They were searching in the room, isn't it? Who were searching inside the stranger's room? Mr. Hall and Mrs. Hall. Then suddenly, Mrs. Hall heard a sniffing sound, using the nose, isn't it? They make the sound. Generally, the dogs used to make, isn't it? That sound she heard near her ear. A moment later, the hat on the bedpost leapt up and dashed itself into her face. Suddenly, the hat the stranger was using, isn't it? It was there on the bed. That jumped and it had given whom a slap? Mrs. Hall a slap on her face. Then the bedroom chair became alive. Suddenly what happened? The chair kept in his room started moving. And springing into the air, it charged straight at her. It was about to beat her. Actually the man, the scientist was there. He came back and he found that who were inside his room? Mr. Hall and Mrs. Hall. Who was angry? The invisible man was angry. So he was invisible. So that's why who couldn't see the Mr. Hall and Mrs. Hall. So what did he do? He just picked up the chair and he was about to beat Mrs. Hall. As he and her husband turned away in terror, but they could not find the person. So that's why they were afraid. They must have thought it's a ghost, isn't it? The extraordinary chair pushed them both out of the room and then appeared to slam and lock the door after them. So the moment they just came out of the room, somebody locked the room from inside also. Mrs. Hall almost fell down the stairs in hysterics. She became very tensed and she fell down on the floor. Then what else happened? She was convinced that the room was haunted by spirits and that the stranger had somehow caused these to enter into her furniture. She thought that the stranger is the person who keeps the spirits, isn't it? She thought inside the room what is there? The ghost is there, and the furniture also were affected by the ghost presence, and the furniture started moving. That's what who thought? Mrs. Hall thought. Mrs. Hall almost fell down the stairs in hysterics, and she was convinced that the room was haunted by spirits and that the stranger had somehow caused these to enter into her furniture. So she was very sure that who is behind all these things? The stranger is behind all these things. My poor mother used to sit in that chair, she moaned. What did she say while crying? Mrs. Hall said that particular chair was used by my mother. It is actually furniture handed to her by whom? By her mother. To think it should rise up against me now. Do you think that? Can I ever imagine that? Can I ever think that same chair will come and rise up against me? The feeling among the neighbors was that the trouble was caused by witchcraft. I told you it is happening in the village. Witchcraft. But witchcraft or not, when news of the burglary at the clergyman's home became known, burglary is the robbery. So not only that, even the witchcraft also spreaded, even the clergyman's house theft was also came to know by everyone. The strange scientist was strongly suspected of having had a hand in it. People started believing that these are all who had done this work. These are all done by this strange visitor. Suspicion grew even stronger when he suddenly produced some ready cash, though he had admitted not long before that he had no money. Because another thing, they was very confirmed. Why? Because this stranger told Mrs. Hall that he is waiting for a check to come, isn't it? Then suddenly he has given what also? The rent of the lodge to Mrs. Hall. Then they are very sure that this money was taken by this stranger. The village constable was secretly sent for. Villagers are very smart. They called the police. Instead of waiting for the constable, Mrs. Hall went to the scientist, who had somehow mysteriously appeared from his empty bedroom. Where did the Mrs. Hall go? Very smart lady. She went directly to the scientist's room. And I want to know what you have been doing to my chair upstairs. She questioned him. What were you doing with my mother's chair? She demanded, and I want to know how it is you came out of an empty room and how you entered a locked room. So that's what she wanted to know about it. I want to know how it is you came out of an empty room. How did you go out? We didn't see you going out. How did you go? And how did you enter inside the locked room? These are the two explanations who asked. Mrs. Hall asked. The scientist was always quick-tempered, and now he became furious. There are other ways also. This scientist is an angry person. He became very angry, very furious. You don't understand who or what I am, he shouted. Very well, I'll show you. I'm not going to leave you. I'll show you who I am. Isn't it? You are nobody to question me. That's what the answer given by the scientist. Suddenly he threw off bandages, whiskers, spectacles, and even nose. It took him only a minute to do this. You all know that he had taken everything from the shop, isn't it? These are all artificial things above the shoulder. He removed all the things. And the horrified people in the bar found themselves staring at a headless man. How do he become now? Without a head. Only up to the shoulders, the figure is there. And above that, nothing is there. The people who were sitting in the bar were also very shocked to see. Mr. Jaffers, the constable, now arrived. By the time the police came and was quite surprised to find that he had to arrest a man without head. He was shocked to see a person whom he has to arrest without a head. But Jaffers was not easily prevented from doing his duty. It was not easy for arresting this scientist. If a magistrate's warrant ordered a person's arrest, then that person had to be arrested, but with or without his head. So magistrate order is there, he has to arrest that person. If he has head or that is nothing, that doesn't matter. So there followed a remarkable scene as the policeman tried to get hold of the man, who was becoming more and more invisible as he threw off one garment after another. The next step the scientist started doing. I told you in the very beginning itself, if he removes his clothes, what will happen? He could easily disappear, isn't it? So by the time the police arrived, what did the scientist do? He started removing his clothes. Finally, a shot flew into the air, and the constable found himself struggling with someone he could not see at all. So who started fighting with him? The invisible man. So he cannot catch him because he was invisible. Who was under a lot of pressure? Now the constable. Because he has to arrest a person, he has to struggle with that invisible man. Some people tried to help him, but found themselves hit by blows that seemed to come from nowhere. So who started beating the people there? The invisible man started beating, because they cannot locate him, isn't it? It was very difficult for the constable and the people who gathered there to survive. In the end, Jaffers was knocked unconscious as he made a last attempt to hold on to the unseen scientist. Jaffers, the constable, fell down. He became unconscious because he tried to catch this scientist. There were nervous, excited cries of hold him. People were so afraid. They started shouting, just catch him, catch him. But this was easier said than done. It was easy to announce, but it's very difficult to catch him. Griffin had shaken himself free, and no one knew where to lay hands on him. Griffin had shaken himself. He removed everything, so it was very easy for him to locate the people, but it was very difficult for the people to locate Griffin. And no one knew where to lay hands on him. They have to catch this man. People were totally confused. This is only a portion. Actually, in the end, he will be caught and he will be killed by the people. Isn't it? There was another character also who helped. There's a colonel is there. So who also helped the people to catch this invisible man. Actually, science and the investigations are very good, but you have to use it for the welfare of the people, not for the selfish happiness. So what does this scientist do? Scientist started using his invisibility to make money and disturbing people. That's not correct. That's a message who is giving, H.G. Wells is giving. If you have time, you can take the book and you can read the full novel. Thank you.